Assalamu alaikum and welcome back everybody. You're joining Abdul Jabbar on the Current Affairs show. आज हमने बात की है मीरपुर इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट में के बारे में कुछ कॉल आई हैं आप को हम अभी लेने को नहीं है 01274271787 या 786 पे हमको रब्ता कर सकते हैं और कॉल कर सकते हैं। लाइव कॉल हम ले रहे हैं। तो मीरपुर इंटरनेशनल के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं और आजकल जो हालात बने हुए हैं पाकिस्तान इंडिया के दरमियान और कश्मीर में जो पहलगाम अटैक हुआ है, तो क्या हम समझते हैं कि ये कोई जंग शुरू होने वाली है और इसके पीछे, इस पहलगाम अटैक के पीछे कौन था। और दूसरी बात हम ये कह रहे हैं कि ये कश्मीर का इशू अब क्यों नहीं हल हो चुका। 70 साल हो गए हैं, तो हमें क्या कोई और तरीका ढूंढना चाहिए इसको हल करने के लिए, या यही जो तरीके हैं जो हमने देख रहे हैं कि 70 साल से हमने रिलाई किए हैं कि जो भी तरीके अपनाए हैं उसमें ये कामयाबी क्यों नहीं मिली। तो हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं मेरा भाई, मेरा को होस्ट आमिर हुसैन, और उन्हें वेलकम करते हैं और कहते हैं अस्सलाम वालेकुम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम। सॉरी, थोड़ी सी। अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
कैसे हैं जनाब, ठीक हो?
जी माशाल्लाह ठीक ठाक। थैंक यू फॉर हैविंग मी ऑन एंड थैंक यू फॉर broadcasting independent news to the people of Bradford and beyond. So I think it's very good that we have this platform, that we can do this.
Yes, it's good to have media platforms to reflect our views and question what is going on in society and the world at large. So today's topic, we've been talking about the Mirpur International Airport. Do you want to share any of your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's long overdue. There should have been an airport in Mirpur a very long time ago. I think the failures that have come from Pakistan regarding this, I think it's probably due to the fact that they had a military-based airport in Islamabad, and obviously regarding funds, it's always good to have funds coming in. But now the Islamabad airport is further away. So before it was closer to Pindi side, Pindi, and now it's quite far away. So it's about 4 hours or 4 hours away. So I think that in itself gives a justification to open up an airport in Mirpur, where most of the customer base is. So if the customer base was just from Pakistan, then it would have been understandable. But Pakistan has several airports now. They've got Lahore, Sialkot, just in Punjab area. They've got several, and I think there's a military airport in Mirpur, and I think the potential of having an airport is very good, and I think the people do need it. So I think it's long overdue. I think now is high time that we do progress on having it. I think the excuses we might hear now is because we're close to the border to India, and there might be other issues, but I think it's been approved. Just because it's been approved doesn't mean it's going to happen. So people still need to push hard for it.
Thank you for that. और आपको बताऊं कि आप इंग्लिश में भी बात कर सकते हैं और हमारी अपनी ज़बान में भी बात कर सकते हैं। तो कॉल करें, आप नंबर बनाएं 01274271787 या 786। So 01274271786 या 787. So the lines are open, and what और बातें हम करें. We are talking about a few topics today.
Right.
But it's related to Pakistan, Azad Kashmir,
Yes.
and the occupied Kashmir, the attacks that have happened in the last few days in an area called Pahalgam. Indian media have. What do you make of these attacks, and what's gone wrong for the Pakistan-India, and why has the tensions so all of a sudden increased to warlike footing?
Yeah, I think a warlike footing is going to be always on the agenda, especially because in 70 plus years there hasn't been any proper agreements or resolution on Kashmir or any other border regions in the past. With all the disputes, they've been resolved amicably, but for some reason the Kashmir issue, which obviously I think the main reason is because of the water that is required for both India and Pakistan. That is the main probably reason why nobody wants to give up Kashmir, and yeah, I think that's the main reason of this, and especially when there's RSS and the BJP government, the chances of these kind of attacks or these kind of incidents or warlike actions happening is very, very likely. At the moment, is words. At the moment, on both sides, is heated words, especially from India, and Modi has said he's gonna respond the harshest possible way. So I think he's not gonna go back down, and given that he's got a lot of backing throughout the world, there's no reason for him to back down.
Yeah, so one of the treaties that they were suspended is the Reverse Indus Treaty, which which was signed back in the 60s, and it's never been suspended, or even in the toughest of whenever the situations have been hard. So I just want to mention that the rivers that flow into Pakistan, so Pakistan has got control of 3 of them, which is the rivers Indus, rivers Jhelum, and river Chenab. And the Indians have got the control of Sutlej River, Ravi River, and Beas River. So these flow from Kashmir into Pakistan, and they are in Kashmir. They start in Kashmir. So for both of these, the Indians call it Kashmir, the Utitang, meaning their one of their parts or part of India.
Okay.
And the Pakistan says this is our jugular vein.
And some call it the heart, Dil, as well.
Heart, yeah.
And hopefully nobody calls it Buka Klej or anything like that.
Yeah.
So the moment, yeah, I think when it comes down to that, but the thing is, we've got to see some. They need to be making investments, proper investments in Kashmir. At the moment, even India and Pakistan, they kind of leached off Kashmir, and the thing is, it's not going to get resolved anytime soon, to be realistic. But I think what we need to tell people is how this started, because we haven't really gave the how the what's it called, Pahalgam assault, some people call it, or some people call it terrorist attack, but what do you call how that started, and this was apparently what's happened was a few Kashmiri terrorists. I think the blowing up houses in or shall we say burning houses in Kashmir, they belong to Kashmiri activists. So I don't know what Pakistan has got to do with that. So if they're going against, if they're burning down Kashmiri residents' houses, there must be an issue there. They haven't. I think these people in Kashmir, or shall we say, Indian occupied Kashmir, are being hounded and harassed and downgraded, especially after the 370. What's it called? 370.
2019, when they removed the Article 370 and 35A.
So once again, that's taken away some of the rights, but that area is not, you know, fully part of India or Pakistan. So you really, ideally, you should leave it as it is until that area is dissolved. Whenever you separate them from uh, each other, or when you say this is make laws stating this is part of India or Kashmir is part of India. Or remember, when Pakistan makes laws where it says, for example, Gilgit Baltistan is part of Pakistan, is going to cause issues. You know, you need to resolve this. The only way to resolve it is to actually have a peace deal or peace treaty with India, Pakistan, and not to forget China, because China has a large portion of Kashmir as well. So, but yeah, this particular attack, apparently some Kashmiri terrorists or activists, whatever you want to call them, they killed innocent uh, tourists. Majority were innocent tourists. I believe one was a Nepalese tourist. The majority were Indian tourists, and there was one Kashmiri tour guide who actually tried to protect the people. So I think that's we should give an overview of what's actually happened, and so people get a background of what's actually happened. How are you going to resolve it? That's a totally different issue. But at the moment, a lot of people are calling it false flag operation. A lot of things don't make sense. How the heck shall we say? How the heck did these people get away with it? Apparently, are they still alive?
I I think they somehow managed to escape. But
I think,
if you look
but
at
if you don't mind me asking, this is saying this is similar to what's happened in, shall we say, Palestine, and the way the IDF, the Zionist regime there, uh, made claims and they went full out war, like somehow, with all the Iron Domes and whatnot, they managed to uh, invade part of the occupied Israeli territory, which is Palestine. They've invaded it, and they managed to get away with it. Likewise, in this instance, the people there, even though Kashmir is I think the most amount of occupied soldiers are based in Kashmir, and how did they manage to get away with it? Even the Indian people asking how did they manage to get away with it? It don't make sense. So I think that's why a lot of people are calling it a false flag operation. But last but not least, before you ask the next question, obviously a lot of innocent people did pass away. So and this was a horrendous attack on innocent people. There's nothing manly about this. The innocent tourists with their families, and attacking them is not there's nothing to be proud of. It is wrong, and obviously we condemn it.
um, and obviously we don't know who was behind it. I
Mm.
mean, the thing is, if they were escaped and whatever happened. Just to mention, Pahalgam, do you know how far it is from the Pakistani side? It's literally about 5-6 hours on drive through. If you're gonna drive through the Pakistani side, and that's full speed. If you were to go, it's on the other side. So how did Pakistan send 4-5 guys on the other side of Kashmir? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then there's reports coming where the blockades, where the checkposts were told to let everyone through. Just before the attack. I mean, this is obviously on social media, but in the past, people have thought of these false flag as conspiracies, but it has been proven in the past that these things have taken place.
Yeah, even the US have been known to attack their own citizens. So other countries have done the same. There's a very high possibility these extremist RSS and BJP led government would probably do something. I don't know if they will stoop that low, but uh, going by Modi's reactions, he didn't even visit Kashmir. I think yesterday we went to a meeting, which was a very good meeting regarding Kashmir, and obviously the main thing is that we really need to dampen this down, hopefully to protect people's lives and to hopefully avoid a war. Because nobody needs that, and people are going to die. That's going to be the end result. Innocent people. But currently, there's innocent people that have passed away. I think Pakistan is saying have an independent investigation, and I think Iran I was reading somewhere. Iran has backed that, said that you should have independent investigation. Obviously, people, if that doesn't happen, I think we've got Modi who is going to take some action. Hopefully, it's going to be a short, very short, sustained kind of attack instead of a long, prolonged war. But I think once it does do that, Pakistan will respond as well, and it's going to take several months for there to be peace again. But he's having ramifications all around the world. Even in the UK, you've seen Indian and Pakistani people protesting against each other, and what do you call is shameful that this issue has not been resolved. Obviously, we've had Mahatma Gandhi and Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who at one stage were in the same party, and they wanted a united India, right? And then obviously Muhammad Ali Jinnah said the Muslims would be better off with Pakistan, and the end result was there was a separation. But it would have been better if it was done amicably. But it's never done amicably when Britain is involved. So whenever Britain is involved, whether it is in what do you call the Middle East or India subcontinent, they always cause issues. They never leave that zone peacefully. And 70 years later, the Indians and Pakistans can't see that.
Yeah. So our number हमारा नंबर ओपन है, हमारी लाइंस ओपन हैं, 01274271787 आप कॉल कर सकते हैं, हमारी लाइंस ओपन हैं। आप अपनी बात अपनी ज़बान पे भी बात कर सकते हैं, अंग्रेज़ी है तो अंग्रेज़ी में भी बात कर सकते हैं। अभी आप बाइलिंगुअल भी हैं, और बातचीत आपकी जो है ना आवाम तक आपकी बात जाएगी, और आप अपना जो आवाज़ है अपनी आवाज़ के ज़रिए कर सकते हैं। तो ये जो आपने बात की है, दिस थिंग यू टॉक्ड अबाउट द फाउंडिंग फादर ऑफ पाकिस्तान, मोहम्मद अली जिन्ना, दिस वाज reiterated by General Asim Munir about the two nation theory, and they using this as a hate speech to say, look, look at this, Pakistani, saying that Hindu and Muslims are two separate nations. They don't compare anything with each other. They don't have anything in common, which is true. I mean, obviously, is that a hate speech? आप कॉल कर सकते हैं, 01274271787 हमारा नंबर है। और हम अभी बात कर चुके हैं मीरपुर इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट के बारे में भी बात कर रहे हैं, और जो हमारे साथ अभी जो कॉल आई थी उनका हम मशकूर हैं कि उन्होंने अपनी ये मीरपुर इंटरनेशनल एयरलाइन की जो है ना वो काम कर रहे हैं, हमारे लिए काम कर रहे हैं, हम सब के लिए काम कर रहे हैं, and we should appreciate that. We should join hands in hand with the projects for the international airport and try to develop our area in Pakistan, in Azad Kashmir. So we'll just talk about what General Asim Munir has said about the two-nation theory, and the result was that the just straight after the media, Indian media picked up on that and said he's spreading hate speech and he's behind a lot of
So
the
what
terror.
did he actually say?
He just said the Pakistan was created on two-nation theory, which is that Muslims.
Technically speaking, I don't think that was obviously the two nations resulted, but technically speaking, a nation could have gone independent as well. So likewise, Kashmir could be independent. Whether or not Pakistan or India wants that, that's a different issue. So
Yeah.
we've got places like Hyderabad uh, in down south India, which was Muslim or king, shall we say, or ruler. They wanted to be independent, or they were thinking of joining Pakistan, and the Indian forces invaded
Mhm.
the area, so they put pressure on them, and so likewise, Kashmir can become independent. Maybe in the future they can join Pakistan. So I think my viewpoint would be that currently uh, it'll be better for them to be independent if it results in peace with India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, China. If that's a possibility, then why not? So basically, it'll be like Europe. Well, it'll be bigger than Europe, and it'll have a bigger population, and it can only be a good thing, I think, if that happens.
Yeah.
So if there is anybody that supports, obviously not everybody supports the idea of independent Kashmir. If you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, medical is 70 plus years of the same old, uh, you know, war like issues we're having because we haven't resolved it. When you should resolve your things, then you can move forward. And alleviate a lot of poverty as well, I think, if that happens. Uh,
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, if, even thinking about Pakistan was created to be an independent state, it never was. Think about it.
yeah.
Um,
It was crown dependency. Believe it or not, they left. Yeah, they were still until 1956. I think they gained. I can't remember the exact date. 55, 56. That's when they left. They had the technically speaking, they had the same queen at the time. I believe it or not.
y-
So they
yeah.
had that system, and also the generals at that time, they were British generals. These guys that we're
Yeah.
India and Pakistan, they were British generals. So they didn't come up with the Pakistani system or anything. These were most of them were born in India as well, and obviously people did make sacrifice. I'm not going away from that, but Pakistan really hasn't fought a major battle. A lot of freedom fighters at that time, paid heavy prices. They lost their lives just for the independence of India, British India, or should we say Pakistan. That was a result of that.
I don't know if you saw that interview with Khwaja, what's his name? The defense minister, Khwaja, something. I'm just trying to remember his name. Um, he said basically for 30 years, we've been doing all this dirty work for America.
Yeah.
So think about it.
Well, regarding, I think the question was posed regarding a terrorist state that you're
Terrorism that you've been promoting
Promoting.
in Afghanistan.
Yeah, I think what he was relating to was probably the Taliban and
war against terrorism.
yeah,
So
how
yeah.
Pakistan was heavily influenced and involved, even though it shouldn't have been involved with Afghanistan issues. You should try to remain independent, even though somebody's paying you. The US is paying you doesn't mean you abide by their rules. And look what they're doing now. They told you to go do one kind of thing. So they're doing their own stuff. And India somehow, who was supposed to be against the capitalist, uh, free world, US, they're now friends with everyone. They're friends with Russia,
Who, sorry?
India.
All right.
So India is friends with Russia, US, so everybody except for China and Pakistan. So they've got really good relations throughout the world, even with Arab nations. And what do you call? I don't think that's gonna change. They played it very, very well. I just want to say that.
Yeah, geopolitics is very important to understand. My take on it is that America, obviously, the Pakistan and India are both American agents, and the game plan for America is now to compete or to counter China using India and to use Pakistan as a chota pai of India, so it doesn't threaten India. So this is the plan, yeah. This is the American plan. Now, how it works out, we have to just see, because they might have to force India and Pakistan to sit at the table and to humiliate Pakistan and to bring it down a notch. So we'll have to see how that plays out. I think we should go for a little break and come back after a short break. The phone number is 01274 271 787. So we'll just see you back straight after the short break.